Hey guys, what is up? So, we are gonna be doing 7 Scary Animated Stories 2018 compilation. Now, when I did this before, the audio did not work. And right now, it is 12:15 p.m. So, it's pretty much noon that I'm doing this, which is why it's still pretty bright out for you guys. But, it's pretty dark in my room, sort of. At least for me it is. Anyways, so let's get into the video, shall we? Don't mind my, cursor.
I used to be a trucker and would do a lot of late night runs. I usually had my coffee to keep me going through the night, and even then it would still be tough. This night, however, I didn't have my coffee, and things weren't going so well. On several occasions, I almost fell asleep behind the wheel, and I was only just barely able to save myself from completely drifting away by actually feeling the truck drifting off to the side of the road. Then, just as I thought I was regaining my awareness, I saw a black figure coming up in the road, right in the path of the truck. I swerved away to avoid the figure and just barely missed it. I had to come to a complete stop to try and gather my sanity back up. I looked in the left rearview mirror. The figure was still standing in the middle of the road. I am not usually a person to confront things in any situation, but something possessed me to get out of that truck and give the person a piece of my mind. But when I got out of the truck, there was nobody there. I was seemingly the only person on this road for miles. I took off after that, and about 5 miles down the road, I pulled over and fell asleep. I think my mind was playing tricks on me that night, but I don't know why my brain would create such an eerie image.
Sorry, my recording thing's over there like the last time. Danny. Who the fuck is Danny?
This happened to me when I was really little. I was 7 years old, but I still remember all of it like it happened yesterday. I was sleeping over my grandma's house, like I always did when I was little. She never drove her whole life for some reason, so she would constantly be taking long walks everywhere. One day when I was sleeping over, she wanted to walk all the way to the library, which was like 10 blocks away. I didn't want to take that walk. I was a lazy kid, so she went off and told me not to answer the door to anyone. My grandma was the kind of person that was strict, and she didn't baby people, so it wasn't unusual for her to leave me by myself at such a young age.
Sorry.
Sometime while I was alone, the phone rang. I, being a dumb and curious little boy, answered it. It was a man on the other end. I remember he said, "Who is this?" I said, "Danny."
Don't answer.
"Are your parents home, Danny?"
Idiot.
I said, "No."
Sorry.
"So you're home alone right now, Danny?" I said, "Yes." "Where are you at right now, Danny? Do you know the address?" Somewhere in Queens," I told him. "All right,
Queens,
Danny,
New
bye-bye
York?
now." He hung up.
New York.
I don't even remember thinking twice about it,
Right?
but the story didn't end there, unfortunately. I'd say almost an hour later, a knock came at the door. I remembered what my grandma said, so I remained on the couch. "I see you on the couch, Danny." My little heart sank. He was on the porch, staring at me. He was a very creepy-looking man, all gray, ugly, and a fat beer gut. I told him to go away. "I got some candy in my truck. Come on out, Danny." I ran to the guest bedroom that I slept in and locked the door. Moments later, I heard the back door being fiddled with, followed by banging and thumping as he tried to break down the door. By some miracle, I heard the loud voice of my grandmother as she yelled at him to get the hell out of the yard and that she's calling the cops. I watched the guy took off in his ratty pickup truck as my grandma tried to get the plate number. Unfortunately, she didn't remember it, but she still reported him and his vehicle to the cops. My mom never trusted my grandma to watch me again after that, but I still know that if she had arrived even 10 minutes later, God only knows what would have happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
When I was 21, me and my girlfriend were upstate in my family's vacation mobile home. It was during a snowstorm, and we were sitting on the couch next to the heater, snuggling and watching late-night TV. We were surrounded by absolutely nothing but forest in all directions, and all that was keeping us from the outside was a wooden door that had a broken lock. While we were watching TV, my girlfriend started shaking me, telling me she heard something outside. I assured her it was most likely a deer or a bear or something, but then 5 minutes later, my girlfriend looked at me again. I heard it too. I muted the TV so we could hear it better. It sounded like someone was messing around in the little lawnmower shed outside. My car was parked outside and all the lights were on inside. If there was anybody out there, they knew we were inside. My girlfriend was urging me to go outside and check it out, but I told her she must be crazy to think that I was going out there. The sound stopped and there was nothing but the sound of the storm outside now. After a few minutes, I felt it safe to shut the inside lights and open the blinds to take a quick look outside, but it was too dark to see anything. I turned on the porch light and I was able to see a good portion of the front yard outside. There were footprints in the snow. Not animal footprints. They were clearly shoe prints, and they were headed in the direction of the backyard. I went to open the curtains to the backyard window, and when I did, I felt the urge to scream, but my girlfriend did instead. Even though there were no lights in the backyard, we could see a man dressed in all black and wearing a vendetta mask facing the window. I immediately shut the blinds and told my girlfriend to go hide in the bedroom, while I grabbed my grandpa's hunting rifle out of the closet. I pushed the cinder blocks and a bunch of other heavy objects in front of the door as a barricade, shut all the blinds and lights, and went to hide with my girlfriend in the corner of the bedroom. There was a bang at the front door. He was trying to bust open the door. I don't even think he tried the knob, but it didn't matter either way. After a few futile bangs to the door, it seems the man finally gave up. I stayed up that whole night with the gun by my side while my girlfriend slept. We packed and left first thing in the morning, but the scary thing, there was a fresh set of footprints leading from the front yard window out into the woods. I haven't been up there since. I don't plan on ever going back up there.
Ooh, scary.
Let me just say that sleep paralysis is one of the most horrifying things you can have. I never had these types of hallucinations before, but this night, however, I did. I was getting ready for bed and setting my alarm clock for 6 a.m. for school tomorrow. I was lying down with the light still turned on, and I was reflecting on life. For whatever reason, I looked around my room and saw something in the corner. It was the most horrifying thing I've ever seen. It was a woman staring right at me, but her arms were down to her feet, and her eyes were nothing but big black holes. And her mouth was open wider than anyone humanly could. Another thing I noticed was that I couldn't move. I could only move my eyes. I just stayed there staring at her while she stared at me. Then, she started slowly walking over to the front of my bed. She raised her arms up high and let out a horrifying scream. I closed my eyes and knew I was about to die. Then, the screaming suddenly stopped, as if a switch were turned off. I opened my eyes, ready to see what was in front of me, but there was nothing. I felt relieved and glad that she was gone. I'm not sure why my mind would create an image like that, but even though there was really no woman or scream, this was the most horrifying experience I've ever had.
Smile.
When I was
outside my window. He was smiling. He didn't do anything except stand there and smile. I wanted to scream, but couldn't for fear of what he would do. After a couple of seconds, he walked away out of sight. A few more seconds later, I heard my front door open. No mistake. It opened quietly. You couldn't hear it unless you were awake and listening for it. After that, silence for about 1 minute. Then, my bedroom door opened and the man walked into my room. I was petrified. He stood there right in front of me and just smiled. His clothes were dark and he was clean shaven. He stood there for a good minute before turning around and walking out again. I heard my front door open and close, and then nothing. I ran to my parents' room and told them what just happened, and they freaked out. They were positive they had locked the door. It was the scariest thing that's ever happened to me by far. I have no idea who he was, and I never saw him again. About 30 years ago, my mom went on a blind date. Her date took her to a restaurant, and although he was nice enough, she just wasn't into him. Not even halfway through the meal, she was already thinking of ways to leave early. The waiter could tell. While my mom's date was in the restroom, the waiter approached her and asked her if she was okay. She explained that she was on a blind date and not having much fun. It turns out the waiter was just about to get off work. He offered to give her a ride home if she waited another 10 minutes. She considered it and was about to say yes when her date came back from the restroom. She gave a subtle head shake, no, to the waiter and then smiled. She and her date finished their meals and then he took her home. The next night, my mom was watching the evening news. A story comes on about a woman being raped and murdered behind a restaurant the night before. The restaurant was the one that she had been at. They showed the murderer's picture. It was the waiter.
Ben's cries of Pika, Pikachu filled the living room as he dodged Jamie's red lightsaber. We waited for their friends to show up as I'd volunteered to chaperone the children. I was happy to avoid answering the door all night long. A Viking, Super Saiyan Goku, and a clown appeared on my front doorstep, turbocharged with energy. I complimented their costumes and shivered at Timmy's clown outfit. I fucking hate clowns. I closed up and put a bucket of candy out. I knew some kid was going to dump it into his pillowcase, but at least I tried. Who's that? I asked to put the boy away from the rest of the herd. That's Ryan. He's been acting kind of weird, Goku answered. Ryan's costume unnerved me the most. It looked like a genuine body bag with holes cut out for his arms, legs, and part of his face. I said hello and he didn't acknowledge me. Bratty little shit, I thought to myself. The night passed in a blur. The boys stampeded upstairs to get ready for a night of spooky tales before bedtime, when my phone rang and an unknown number displayed on the screen. I let it go to voicemail, and then listened to the message. Hello. This is Ryan's father. Our children play together, so I wanted to let you know ahead of time so that you can prepare yourself for a talk with your kids. My boy passed away last night from a brain aneurysm. As I put the phone down, trembling, I felt a cold hand on my arm.
Okay. Wow. That was probably the shortest video I've done. I'm not gonna do almost an hour one. We'll
That
do
one.
a little bit of
Plus, it
that.
didn't hurt that it was cheaper. The cabin was nothing luxurious or anything. It was a single floor, 4-room little thing. A 2-person bedroom, a small living room, a kitchen, and a bathroom. They may have been small, but the actual idea of being secluded in a warm log cabin during a blizzard was amazing. However, the storm was interfering with the cable signal, so we didn't have much to do this one particular evening. It was just starting to get dark out at this point, but there was still a decent amount of light outside, so I thought it would be perfect for getting a few shots and videos in the blizzard for backgrounds and wallpapers. I told my wife I'd be back within 10 minutes and slipped on my boots and coat. The moment I stepped outside and shut the door, I noticed footsteps leading up to the door in the snow that had blown under the wooden awning. I could see the prints doubled as whoever left them there turned and went the opposite direction. I was freaked the fuck out, but I wasn't about to.
We'll just do this part.
This happened a week ago. Up until a few days ago, I went to a small local gym in my now previous New Jersey town called Black Bear Fitness. One day, I had the misfortune of running into some skinny, awkward, yet creepy-looking kid, probably 18 years old. He didn't look like he belonged in a gym at all. I had headphones in and I was doing my set when I heard him saying something to me, but it was muffled by the music. I was already annoyed with this kid, given that he was breaking an unwritten rule of the gym. Don't try to talk to somebody when they're doing their sets. I took my time finishing my set, and then took my headphones out to ask if he needed something. Then he started acting like I looked familiar, but right away I knew this kid was just trying some pathetic attempt at making friends. I assured him I didn't, but the kid wouldn't stop talking to me. I'll skip most of the conversation, but eventually he actually asked me for my Instagram and Snapchat, weirdly enough, and for whatever reason I gave them to him. Instead of just saying something like, "Buddy, I'm trying to work out," or "I don't have social media." After I gave him my Snapchat and Instagram, however, I did kind of urge him to let me resume my workout. He finally seemed to get the message and walked away. Not without saying bye like 3 times, though.
That's fucked.
That night, I got a snap on my phone saying, "From Sean." I immediately sighed and said, "Oh no." Just wondering why the hell the kid would snap me. I opened the snap, and the kid was in a creepy, weird pose, face way too close to the camera, with his head resting in his hand and a half smile on his face. The text over the picture was "Hey" with 2 Y's. I muttered the words, "What the fuck?" For the record, I'm a guy, which made this even more weird. My thought process was, I've had enough of this loser already. I'm gonna remove him and make it clear I don't want to talk if I see him at the gym again. And so I did. I removed him minutes after he sent that snap. I'm sure not even a minute later, again a message popped up on my phone, saying "Snapchat from Sean." I waited a few minutes before opening it. This one was even creepier. Now the kid was sitting up on his bed, no smile, more of a surprised, angry expression. The text over the image said, "Why did you remove me?" Now I went as far as to block him, meaning he couldn't snap me anymore. That was that. I threw my phone on the desk and sighed out of relief. Half an hour later, my phone goes off, saying Sean added you as a friend, and then Snapchat from Sean. He actually made a new account. I opened the snap and felt my heart drop. It was a picture of my front lawn. The text over it, "Answer me, bitch." The first thing I could think of was, how did he find my address? Then I realized, Snapchat made that new map feature that lets you see where your friends are. Somehow I had the balls to open the window to see outside. It was clear out there. I shut the window and the blinds and started considering calling 911. It was the sound of taps on the window. I took a deep breath, and with one swift motion, I pulled up the blind and the window at the same time and pulled the kid into my room by his neck. I punched him in the face a few times before he was out cold. Now I called 911. By the time they arrived, he was awake, cursing me out, promising he'd be back and kill me. The cops heard it all. I didn't even have to make a case. The kid was an idiot. Luckily, the timing of this worked out well, because I just moved a couple days ago out of state. Only thing that worries me, I don't want to have to make a new Snapchat account, but anytime somebody new adds me on the app, I'll never know if it's secretly that Sean kid again.
Yeah.
I was vacationing in the Bahamas when I was 14 with some family friends. My friend and I were getting some henna tattoos at the hotel, and there was this guy lingering around us. But we didn't think much of it because a lot of people would stop to see what was going on. After mine was done, I told my friend and her mom I was going to go back to the room to get ready for dinner. There were two ways to the other side of the hotel, either inside through a bunch of small stores or outside along the pool. I walked through the inside and got to the elevator, where I saw the guy who had been watching us already at the elevator. We got on together, and he gestured for me to choose my floor button first. I clicked it, but he didn't choose another floor. Alarms start going off in my head. But what could I do? I was stuck in an elevator. The elevator stopped on my floor, and I started walking to my room. In this hotel, most of the rooms faced the ocean, so to the right in this hallway were just windows. I was in the very last room on that floor, and I could see the guy following me about 10 feet behind. About 2 doors from my room, he ran up and grabbed me. I kicked and screamed, and he dropped onto the floor. I ran to the room and locked myself in. After talking with security and giving a description, they found the guy and found out that he had actually been following multiple younger women in the building. Back in high school, I took a mysteries and mythology type class, or something like.
Boy. So, what? Look at this. My guitar pick is stuck to my hand. Wow. So that's gonna be the end of this video. Oh god. I'm cold. Whatever. If you hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to click that notification bell so you never miss another video that I upload. Peace.
I know what you fantasize about.